Hey everyone, it's Marie here, and jumping on today to talk about networking. We're continuing our theme in the month of April around networking. But today, talking about old school networking. I know it's really easy to think about networking in terms of social media and online networks, but there are actually still a lot of old school techniques, tried and true venues that still work. And so I wanted to shout some of those places out. Now, of course, if you're online, kudos to you. The Facebook, the LinkedIn, the Instagram page can all work magic for you in terms of expanding your reach and exposing you to more and more people who could potentially need your services and products. However, there is something still very, very powerful about good old face-to-face, reach out and touch someone in a very literal way that intrigues people and makes them immediately establish that know, like, trust factor with you. And so I wanted to jump on and share some of those resources, especially if maybe you're tech averse, social media averse, and still want to do things the old-fashioned way with some face-to-face connections. Now, there are, I think, still really like four main areas where you can make old school networking work for you. The first one you might recognize if you read through the Marketing Blitz post that listed over 20 strategies for blasting your brand when you first start. And this first one is essentially tried and true coffee dates with any and everyone you're connected with. This works especially well when you're first starting, but is something you want to keep in your back pocket as you continue to grow your business and build your brand. Sitting down with someone, reaching out for a coffee date is a great way to catch up with people on a very real level. Because one, it's super casual. People who meet up for coffee aren't expecting to be sold, and you're not there to sell them. Instead, you're there really to share information and to catch up. Let people know what you're up to. If you have a new service offering or you're trying something new in your business, this is a great time to share that in a way that's not pushy or salesy. And it keeps people, one, super excited about what you do and how you're doing it, but two, again, pushes that front of mind so when they do have a need or know someone who has a need, they're ready to reach out for you. The other thing that this does, meeting up for coffee or even after dinner drinks with friends, is keeping people connected with you. I think oftentimes as we build our businesses, as we're throwing ourselves into this passionate work, we forget about our social life. And those friends you had before you started business, while they may not completely understand your entrepreneur's journey, they do still want to support you. And by meeting up on a regular or once in a while basis, you allow them to continue to be part of your life in a truly, truly meaningful way. All right, that's the first one. Now, the second old school method is one that I myself don't use very much, but is one that is very, very popular. And that's finding random collections of people who are in your niche or area. This is something like going to a meetup event. So you could go to meetup.com, you search through current events that have anything to do with your area or with your target market, right? Your target client. And you show up and mix and mingle with others who are there for the exact same reason, just to put themselves out there. Now, this can be terrifying. So if you haven't read the small talk post from last week, I'm going to encourage you to swing on by there, check out some of those tips for avoiding small talk and getting really invested in some of those awkward or could be awkward conversations. But going to a meetup event is a great way to expose yourself immediately, face to face with a high number of people who could potentially be great connections for you, right? Now, if you're not so much into the random collection of people and throwing yourself out there totally cold, then I think number 3 is going to be a good tool for you. And this is leveraging conferences or professional development workshops and opportunities. Of course, as a business owner, you are dedicated to making sure you're top of your game when it comes to understanding your craft and your industry. That means any new strategies that come out, techniques, trends in your area of expertise, you need to be right on top of those things, which means that opens the door for you to be constantly learning and developing yourself professionally and personally. So anytime you go to a workshop or event around your own development, make sure you're also leveraging that time to truly get to know the others who are experiencing that learning event with you. That means talking to people at your table when you're sitting at a workshop. That means when you are standing in line at the bathroom in a hotel, right before the main event starts, that you're leveraging some of those techniques in the small talk post about finding things that are interesting about the other person, asking people how they're doing, how'd you hear about it, right? Creating genuine conversation that could lead to, one, building more friendships, so people who end up on your let's grab coffee list, or two, immediately reaching out for business synergies, right? Oftentimes in these rooms, you find people who are on a similar path to you, who are looking for partners, who are looking for resources, who are looking for consultants, right? This is your time to find some of those B2B, business to business type of connections, because that's where business owners are. They're learning and growing all the time. Of course, huge way you can leverage this is by going to industry conferences or traveling, right, to go to learning events around your niche. Awesome way to immediately expand your reach and your network by taking yourself out of your normal geography. I know for myself, my go-to right now is the eWomen Network. They have their conference coming up in Texas this summer. That's where you'll find me if you want to come network with me. But it's a great way to get immediate, concentrated exposure to business owners across the country and sometimes from outside of the country. You can then connect with on social media to continue those bonds, but it's the in-person connection that makes it so strong. That's how I found my bookkeeper this year. It's how I got connected with my local New Jersey chapter for eWomen, even though I'm here in Brooklyn. It's how I'm connected with a woman who makes amazing chocolate in Reno, and I'm now going to help her market and sell her brand, right? Amazing things happen when you put yourself out there, boop, pluck yourself out of your normal and go to a learning event, whether that's in your local neighborhood or traveling to really give yourself some broader exposure and exposure to your network. The fourth tried and true in-person networking venue that I like is local industry organized chapters. So this is where you might join a national organization or industry or trade association. For me, that also happens to be the eWomen Network. They are a national organization. It's a membership organization, so I do pay an annual fee or a monthly due in order to participate and be a part of their network. But then I get to go to weekly events in my local chapter, right? So maybe for you, it might not be, Entrepreneur Women's Network, right? Maybe you're a man, or maybe you're not quite ready to jump into entrepreneurship, but that could be your local chamber of commerce. That could be connecting with your local sorority chapter, right? If you pledged in college or after, right? That could be jumping into the Black Chamber of Commerce or local business owners or union membership if you're still affiliated with a job. Going to chapter events and local events can help expand your reach because you're connecting with people right there in your community. These people are highly accessible to you. These people definitely make it onto your Let's Chat Over Coffee list. And most likely you're also going to stay connected with them on social media and continue branching out that way. But again, the visible exposure, being live in person with someone, is the tried and true way to build that know, like, and trust factor without having to constantly be creating content and putting yourself out there the way you would on a social media channel or over the internet. Okay? So again, for the tech-averse, those people who are feeling like social media is not your jam, there are still tons of ways for you to connect with people in real life and continue building your network. Chat over coffee, find a local meetup group, go to professional development events, or join a local membership organization where you can be held accountable to constantly plug in, meeting new people, sharing your gifts, and expanding your network. All right. I hope that helps you guys. Please let me know what you decide to do, where you're showing up to continue expanding your network for in real life connection with people. And if it helps you out and you do something, drop it down below so I can follow up with you too. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.